All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on the Roman Show. And on the line, we have a new band all the way from Canada, As We Suffer. And Matt from the band joins us right now. Matt, thanks so much for your time. Hopefully you guys...
Thanks so much for having me.
Cool. Hopefully you guys are keeping warm. I know that you guys are really cold up there in Canada this time of year.
You bet we are. Oh, my God.
But a little metal will help you warm up. The Fallen Pillars, the single is out right now. The debut album will come out in April. It's dropping.
That is correct.
And that is the name of the album itself. So if you haven't had a chance out there tuning in right now, make sure you get a chance to do so. It's on right there on the website, theromanshow.com. Just click on the link and you can hear The Fallen Pillars just to get a little taste of what to anticipate when the full album drops in April. So Matt, let's talk a little bit about The Fallen Pillars. This is what you're giving us just to give a little taste. What can you tell me behind the lyrics behind? I know does it have to do a little bit with the band itself, or tell me a little insight about it?
So the Fallen Pillars is a concept that a friend of mine came up with, and basically it's you take a belief or an idea and you envision in your mind a pillar. And then with that pillar, you basically envision yourself with something like a sledgehammer, and every hit to that pillar is a counter thought or a counter belief. And the idea is, if the idea holds true or the belief holds true, the pillar will stand. If not, the pillar will fall. And so this album is basically all about the untruths. So so hence the title of Fallen Pillars.
Yeah, and I noticed too the cool artwork you had there with the pillars and it seems like death.
Oh yeah.
Behind it. Tell me a little bit about that work, because you had is that a close friend that worked on this?
Yeah. We a guy named Chris. He's absolutely phenomenal. Chris Thomas. He's a local artist, and it was his first time doing something a little bit more dark. And I think he just nailed it. And he did the back art too. We have an entire different piece for the back of the album as well.
So with the Fallen Pillars, why did you guys decide just the album itself after this single title? Does it pretty much describe the whole concept of the album, or is there a concept of the album?
Yeah, the whole thing is a concept album, each song representing a fallen pillar, if you will. So the things that are self-destructive in our society, the things that keep us down, all of the untruths, basically.
Now, you guys had some changes along the way. I was noticing there that you were very vocal as far as you had some members that dropped originally. And and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you were just kind of like putting an ad out there. Hey, we're looking for some members. Come try out during this whole pandemic. How did you guys were able to put that together?
Well, yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy during the pandemic, especially, right? But so one of our founding members, Jay, he left the band just for personal reasons, so we had to locate a new guitarist, and we're trying a guy out now. He's doing phenomenally. But yeah, it's been an interesting thing doing music during a pandemic. We were fortunate enough to record an album during this time, but there's no touring. There's no we can't do anything to promote it beyond online, right?
Yeah, that in itself is challenging, but you were able to produce this entire album in its entirety during this pandemic. So I see that.
That's correct.
Was this DIY, or did you go to the record studio? Because I saw some images there of a Facebook. It seemed like you were at home.
No. So we worked with an amazing producer named Joe Lyko from Dark Moon Productions. He and Lisa, his partner, they are amazing, and we used them because we'd heard about them locally. like several times and heard some of the stuff that he had produced, and it was always stellar, absolutely stellar. So his studio is in his home, but we did the drums at a different location. Mm-hmm. All the drums were done first, of course, and then everything else was done at his home studio.
Wow, that's good stuff coming together to put this record. As again, it's dropping in April now. As We Suffer, tell me the little bit of history of the name that in itself, and how did you guys just, of course, you just grabbed some new people or some new members of the band recently, the whole pandemic as you dropped some, but the whole concept of the band, how did it come about, and what was the motivation to put a band like this together?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we started out as a cover band back in 2017, and it was just a little thing to get us going with music, and eventually we started writing our own stuff, and we had all been in high school bands, and we'd always had a taste for it, but then in 2018 we started taking it very seriously, and when our current drummer joined, Chris, he that was like mid 2018, I think it was May 2018. He presented us right away with the name As We Suffer. He's like, I really like this name. I can't believe it hasn't been used before. And I'm like, yeah, it does. It seems like an official name. And we did a whole, democratic process of choosing the name. We each came up with a name. We voted, and As We Suffer won.
Wow, interesting stuff. So
yeah, sorry, I was just going to say it's supposed to be a unifying name. We all suffer. Mm-hmm. So that's the idea of it.
Now, during this pandemic, of course, you're trying to put this stuff together, but when you're developing an album, of course, there's songs that you decide, okay, let's use this, and let's try to keep the others. How much content or how much singles or music did you produce? Is there enough for a follow-up that you could just instantly revisit and drop another album, say, later this year or next year?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we dropped a couple of tracks from the album that just didn't sort of fit. Mm-hmm. We had a few that, I was quite fond of them, but they just didn't fit with the overall sound. We have enough material right now. Now, and this isn't even the stuff we dropped. This is all new stuff. Thanks in part to the pandemic, we have... we've almost got half of album 2 written. So we're going to probably be recording that in 2022.
So just fresh out. So was that content though? Will you revisit? Maybe make some changes in the sound or in the lyrics, but you kind of have it laid out.
Yeah. I mean, 2 of them actually we're reworking right now, mm-hmm. And we may even redo the 3rd as well. So, I mean, they all had a fairly aggressive, heavy, and fast feel to them, which is, part and parcel to what we do. Mm-hmm. But, so I think we're going to probably rework them. We have one called Redacted that we're retweaking right now. And, so we'll probably.
Gotcha. Well, man, I want to thank you for your time, man. And again, As We Suffer, they dropped their debut album, The Fallen Pillars, in April. You can check out the single right now, available on your favorite streaming service, including Spotify and all the rest. You can head over to theromanshow.com. Just click on the link and you'll be able to hear the single. Matt, thanks so much, man. And when we're over with this pandemic stuff, I don't know about you, but I kind of had it with these virtual concerts. I want an actual physical concert where I could mosh pit and hit someone in the face.
Yeah.
But in the meantime...
Absolutely, man.
In the meantime, when you guys get on the road, we'd love to have you down here in Miami, Florida, and jam and tune out to the music, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity.